I'm Stacy, and welcome to the Retro Time Machine. And this is an ugly tie that everyone will love. This year, I wanted to come up with a unique Father's Day card, and I think this is it. So this is an origami tie with a little note that you can slip inside, and I use a price tag as a pull. For this craft, you'll need a piece of printer paper, or I prefer construction paper because it's a little tougher. Your funky tie paper. Double-sided paper works really cool because it looks like the tie has a lining. An object for smoothing the creases or really strong fingers. A pencil. Crafting scissors. And these are optional, but I think it really adds the wow factor. You'll need a price tag for tracing and a piece of string to attach it with. I forgot to take a snap of this, but you'll probably need a piece of lined paper and also an envelope if you plan on mailing it or want to disguise the surprise. Go ahead and grab your traditional size piece of paper and fold that bottom corner up as far as it will go. You're going to crease this and make a giant triangle. This is going to be your guide for cutting out a shape, perhaps out of a piece of paper like scrapbooking paper or something else that's a little bit larger. Go ahead and cut off that large rectangle and save it for later and smooth out that crease. That's your guide paper. Now that we have our perfect square, we're going to go ahead and transfer that onto our other piece. Steer clear of any frayed or dirty edges and go ahead and line it up with a clean edge, factory edge, and trace out your guide paper and go ahead and cut this to get your funky tie paper. If you're using a more detailed piece of paper and you want to showcase a weird pattern, keep in mind that this craft is done at an angle. But to help things line up or be more funky, I decided to fold this paper in half so I could use that center line as a focal point in my craft. If you have a piece of paper that you want to have a line down the center of your tie, you would just have to rotate your piece of paper 45 degrees and cut it out more like a diamond. Now that we've cut out our perfect squares of funky tie paper, we're going to go ahead and fold them diagonally and put some pretty strong creases on these pieces of paper. Line up the corners and go ahead and press down with your fingers or your interesting object of choice. And go ahead and flip and line up again, corner to corner, and press those creases down. Once you put in your creases, it's time to figure out which direction you want your tie to face. And once you've done that, go ahead and fold the corner into the center line and crease and repeat on the other side. And once you've done that, you're going to grab those edges and fold them into the center line. When using an interesting pattern, take a second to think about which way you want this design to come out. Go ahead and fold those creases, again, corner to corner diagonally, and press those in nice and tight, and fold those corners in. I took a second to think about it, and although I really originally wanted that line to run down the center of the tie, I forgot that this is a diagonal craft. And this tie turned out so cool. It looks super Art Deco. I absolutely love it. Each time I repeat the steps in this video, I'm just speeding it up a little bit. This way you don't have to really go back and look back at the video. You can just kind of watch it and be like, okay, yeah, that's definitely what it looks like. At this part of the craft, it's officially time to decide which part you want at the top of your tie. I recommend picking a piece that has a little bit more detail for the knot. Go ahead and fold that top corner down, meeting it up and making a little square there. And then you're going to fold that top piece down to the middle crease. Once you folded that down to the middle crease, you're going to want to go up just a little bit, maybe about 1 centimeter, and really press that down. Make sure it's nice and even. You don't want a lumpy knot. And once you have that, it should look like a little zigzag or something. Don't drive yourself too crazy trying to get these lines absolutely perfect. You just want some good strong lines. Most of this is going to be on the back of the tie anyways, so it won't really be too noticeable. Again, we're folding down to that center crease that we created in our very first 2 folds and folding up 1 centimeter for our zigzag. These next few folds is where it starts to get really intense. You remember how many folds we put already in the paper. You're going to want to fold that corner piece there all the way almost to the center line and kind of create that angled tie shape. This is where having a tool to press down on those creases really helps. And you're just gonna pop that little guy out and fold him back over. I'll give you a close-up of that here in just a second. But again, you're folding over all of those creases of paper, creating that angled tie shape, pushing down, and then kind of crease really good there, and pop that over. Don't worry, I'll give you a close-up. So here you can see I'm taking that corner of that zigzag and pushing it really close to the center line, pushing that really down hard, and then popping that over. It's really simple, and ta-da, you have a tie. Really fun to see how all the different patterns of paper turn out, and my plan is all the scraps that we cut off to get our perfect square, I'm gonna make tiny baby ties and put them in the mailbox of all my neighbors. Speaking of scraps, here's that long rectangle we cut off of our guide paper. I'm just folding it over a couple times. Sorry, this is a little hard to see. And I took my price tag and lined it up with that clean edge. And I just went ahead and traced it with a pencil and cut that out. I always feel like it's better to fold paper over and have sharp scissors and cut once than having to cut out a zillion little price tags. So see, now I have 4. So I just took a hole punch and punched a hole in the price tag. You could shove a pencil through or a sewing needle, anything works. I just grabbed a piece of hole punch lined paper, and when you hold the tie up to it, you see it doesn't really line up. But if you flip it over, you can cut off that little pink margin line and have a perfect piece of paper that fits your tie. I'm gonna write a much better note than this. This is just a for example. Go ahead and tie in your price tag into that little hole and fold up your note for inside your tie. Keep in mind the space inside this tie is kind of small, so you might want to measure that before you fold your note up. But voila, look at how beautiful these ties look. I would buy any one of these and give them to my dad, but it's even better that he doesn't have to add it to his collection. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and like always, take care and God bless. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more videos.